Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back after your holiday weekend. How'd it go? Hope it went well. It was pretty good for me. We did an egg hunt and look at this. Ready? I have a mug with my child's face on it. Ryan Madigan, your holiday was epic. That's pretty good. You guys like my vest? You like my vest? I'm wearing the vest today. So a couple things, guys, real quick. I made a Google form. This one is less fun and more social studies focused. And on this Google form, you're not being tested on it. Like, you're not being graded on it. It's really, I'm just going to be checking the responses so we can kind of see how everyone does, and I'm going to kind of get a grasp if there's like a topic I should re-go over or something like that. So just check that out quick. And that'll be pretty cool. How's my audio? Everything sound good? Thank you, Ryan. I like the vest. It's very puffy. Listen to that. You hear that? That's how puffy it is. I love it. The bot muted me. Well, Techno Charmander, that sounds like a personal problem. Those were my answers. Spencer, you're good, sir. Change your stream title. Did you? What's my stream title? I haven't even looked. Hold on. I'm so I was having technical difficulties today. Yeah, I don't know what you mean. I was having technical difficulties today. So yeah. For some reason, YouTube wasn't letting me get on. That's why I'm a little late. I apologize for that. My dog almost got run over in the caravan thing. Well, that's terrible, Grace. I'm sorry to hear that. By the way, I used to do landscaping in that area. True story. I used to do landscaping like on Joey Lavery's house, which is right around the block from you. And I think I landscaped your neighbor, Grace. So there you go. You should make the teacher who ran over your dog give you 100 for the rest of the year. I don't think her dog was actually ran over, Robert. That she said almost. There was no meeting for third period. Yeah, we had to push that back because of all the stuff that was going on. So we're going to be doing that this week. Today, we only had like 7 kids show up for period 2. Are there a lot of kids who are going to show up for period 5? Give a shout out in the chat if you plan on joining period 5. Today is period 5 and 6. We'll do period 3 tomorrow. Yeah, I bet you didn't know that, Grace, huh? Let me tell you something. It's working with your hands is important. I feel like it's good for mental health. Oh, JoFro13. Who's JoFro13? You'll be enjoying. I don't think there will be a lot for period 3. Well, you want to jump in today then, James? I could throw period 3 in today with period 5. That's fine. Period 6 only has like 7 kids, so it's not an issue. Indian guy on Fiverr charged $1 for 100 words for writing essay. That's sounds like a gamble, Robert. All right, listen. Yeah, so the way it's going to work today at 3 p.m. is I'm going to post in your Google Classroom. So go to your Google Classroom. You'll see the login information. We're going to be doing Google Meets. That seems to be the easiest one to do. And we'll go from there. All right? Robert, what essay are you trying to get written? Because I'll make sure to pass that along to Mrs. Horshesky. Are the form questions from today's stream or old ones? The form questions are from old streams that we've talked about. But we'll go over that at the end, yeah. The only thing, I don't think anything today, right? So we have Victory Gardens is world, I'm not going to almost give an answer out. Yeah, this is all from old streams. Look at this. I even added an untitled, that's sad, so sad. Can I get rid of this? There we go. There, I modified it. All right, so let's get going on today's lesson. Today we're going to be talking about the Korean War and the Marshall Plan. All right, and at the end of the stream, which is going to be not that long, we're going to kind of do a little review on what we've been talking about last week. It's so weird not having face-to-face with you guys because I feel like I don't get a chance to like check your review. Spencer, can you hear my dehumidifier in the background? If you can, let me know and I will shut it down. All right, I'll shut it off. Okay, how's that? Much better? Child reveal. Christian, tell your sister I said hello. All right, we're going to get going now. All right, so today we're going to be talking about the Korean War and the Marshall Plan. Let's make this guy, hold on, I got some, yeah, let's just go from here. Let's see how it goes. Here we go. You ready? All right, so, no, see, I got to fix it. I failed. First slide and I failed. All right, let's go to, which one is this? Hold on. Here we go. There we go. All right, here we go. Boop. All right, much better. All right, here we are. Boom. Korean War. Korean War. So this is the war I did my Chalk Wars, by the way. If you guys recall that one, the Chalk Wars, Korean War edition. I know, I feel the same way, guys. Today's a tough one. After the holiday weekend, it's just it's tough to, like, be home, but yet have to go to work. You know what I mean? Like, same for me, too. I, like, woke up this morning, like, But, so, just kind of ease yourself into it. You'll be good. So, basically, Korea, to start the Korean War, Korea was divided at the 30th parallel. And the 30th parallel is a latitude-longitude line. What happened is, cartographers, they graphed the whole planet so that when people were on the ocean sailing, they knew where to go. Because the ocean, there's no landmarks. You know, there's no mountains in the distance. There's no trees you can look at and be like, oh, go by the hangman's tree. There's none of that. It's just flat ocean. And so the cartographers, map makers, actually designed like a grid. And so they could tell where people are on planet Earth, even if you're in the middle of the ocean, by basically using latitude and longitude lines. And one of those lines is the 30th parallel, which separates North Korea from South Korea. And Korea was divided at the end of World War II. Basically, when Japan was defeated, the North Koreans supported the Chinese and communists, and South Korea supported more of the capitalist ideas and the Japanese. And so when the war ended, they didn't support the Japanese. They supported that like lifestyle. When the war ended, basically South Korea and North Korea had two different ways. Think of it almost like if Long Island and New York State like all of a sudden severely disagreed. North Korea became communist and South Korea became a democracy, which I don't like that because communism is a form of democracy. It's just, I would say North Korea became communist and South Korea became capitalist. All right, and here you could see the 38th parallel. All right, so the 38th parallel is going to cut like right here in the middle, right? You have North Korea, and the capital of North Korea is Pyongyang. It's fun to say. And the capital of South Korea is Seoul, which is a beautiful word. How's the chat behaving? Should I throw it into slow mode? Should I? Should I do that? Huh? Should I? Should I throw it into slow mode? Should I throw it into slow mode? No slow mode? Slow mode gotta go. 2-day slow mode. No. All right, no slow mode. All right, so here we go. Here's North Korea and South Korea. By the way, the green is all the ocean here, which is kind of pretty. All right, let's keep going. All right, so the Korean War. This is a very unusual war. And it kind of ends up the same way it starts, which is what makes it unusual. It's about 3 years, and the way it ends is exactly the way it began. By the way, you can see here some U.S. soldiers on both sides. It's very similar if you're thinking like, what does the Korean War look like? It looks like World War II, honestly. It's all of the soldiers and the equipment that we use to fight the Japanese, we kind of just carry over into Korean War. Remember, the Korean War starts in 1950, which is only 5 years after World War II, in the same area of the world, you know? On June 25th, 1950, North Korea crossed the 30th parallel and invaded non-communist South Korea. Initially, the United States and United Nations forces pushed deep into North Korea. All right, wait, hold on. Slow down. Okay, so North Korea is going to invade South Korea. A lot of people believe that this is a civil war, that the United States has no business being involved in this war, nor does the United Nations. But since it involves communism and the spreading of such communism, the United States definitely wants to get involved. When the United States joins the war, we're basically what happens is, let's see if we have a. Basically, what happens is the North Koreans invade, right? Let's see. We're gonna get graphic here. Here we go. Ah, look at this. Look at my artwork, right? And we're gonna hold on. Let's make this almost transparent. There we go. And let's turn this red. Whoop, there we go. Nope. I gotta make it more transparent. How's that? That's good. All right. So basically what happens when North Korea invades, okay, they immediately start really defeating the South Koreans. And they push South Korea all the way to like this little tip right here. Okay? And North Korea has pretty much won the war. And they do this in like 2 months. It's very quick. And South Korea has pretty much lost the war until, actually, if you want me to be specific here, it looks kind of like this. There we go. Right? Kind of like that. All right. So the shaded box is, everything in the shaded box is North Korea. No, let's get it red. And now it's too much. Let's go back. There we go. Right? So North Korea is totally kicking butt. And then the United States invades, okay? And the United States, when we invade, we're going to kind of come in and let's see if I could do this now. Ready? The United States starts here, and we're going to make the United States, what color? We're going to make the United States blue. Right? The United States comes in and there we go. And we immediately start pushing the South Koreans back. And we're going to push them all the way back to like right around here. So now North Korea has almost lost the war. And this only takes a couple months, by the way. And then finally, the last push is that China is going to invade. Now, let's put China back over here, right? Because this is where China is. We're going to make Chinese orange, right? And the Chinese are going to invade. And when the Chinese invade, they're going to push the United States pretty much back to where the battle started. And so when it's all said and done, the war ends up right where it began. And that concludes Mr. Voelger's color coding lesson for the day. Yeah. All right, let's keep going. All right, here we go. History doesn't repeat itself, right? League of Nations. Basically, remember the League of Nations had no authority to enact war, where the new United Nations, created after World War II, actually has military forces. So the United States is going to use the United Nations to invade North Korea and save the South Korean capitalism. Guys, if we're not going to be talking on topic in the chat, I'm going to put us into massive slow mode. It'll be like 17 years between texts, so please don't do that. All right, here we go. It says here, like, League of Nations died of lack of exercise, right? So basically it's saying that they died because they couldn't do anything. And now the United Nations has a little Tommy gun right here, which means that they can do something. So it's pretty crazy. Yeah, here we go. End of the war. After 3 years, the two sides fought at the 30th parallel. The country stayed divided at the 30th parallel. And they signed a truce. Now, it's not a peace treaty. It's a truce, basically meaning that today, North Korea and South Korea technically are still at war. All right. And we are officially in slow mode in the chat. Boom. There we go. All right, keep going. 30th parallel today, right? The 30th parallel today, you could see like literally is a line. You can see here where you have like South Koreans on one side, North Koreans on the other. They have guards basically looking at the lines. When presidents want to meet, you have the South Korean president on this side meeting with the North Korean president on this side. And yeah, they literally meet over the line. It's pretty crazy stuff. We talked about briefly, I think on Friday, about the DMZ, the demilitarized zone, basically, which is an area where neither country can go. Make sure you guys are doing that Google Classroom, because once I'm done with this, we're going to go over that. The Marshall Plan. All right, so the Marshall Plan, also known as European Recovery Program, provided aid to Western Europe following the devastation of World War II. One of the ways that we stop communism is we're going to help South Korea fight against the North Koreans. We're also going to provide the Marshall Plan in Europe. As the Soviet Union is expanding over and spreading communism through the areas of Europe that they liberated from World War II, the way the United States is going to stop this is with the Marshall Plan. And the Marshall Plan is actually genius, because we're not going to stop communism with war, because we just fought World War II. We don't want to fight World War III. We're going to stop communism peacefully by using money, right? This is a true capitalist answer. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to tell all the countries destroyed, we're going to say, yo, we'll give you money. We'll fix your schools. We'll give you money to fix your roads. We'll give you contractors and construction equipment. We'll give you all the materials you need. All of your neighborhoods and your libraries that were bombed out during World War II, we will help you fix it for almost free under one condition. Okay? You need to stay away from communism and keep being capitalist. So basically, we pay people to be capitalists at the end of World War II, and it's very effective. A lot of European countries like Greece and Romania and different places like that, they start to be Turkey. They start to be wooed by the money of the United States to stay away from communism. All right, we're going into massive slow chat because Keebler can't seem to stop arguing at my bot. So come on, guys, stay on topic, please. There we go. All right, here we go. The Marshall Plan obviously was George Marshall came up with it, hence why it's called the Marshall Plan. All right, so this is here's the Marshall Plan. Basically, the yellow is basic countries that got to be part of the Marshall Plan with U.S. money. The orange applied for the aid but withdrew application. So basically Poland and Czechoslovakia, they wanted to be part of the Marshall Plan, but the Soviet Union had too many soldiers in those countries and communism had already taken root, and so the Soviet Union stopped Poland and Czechoslovakia from joining this Marshall Plan. And then Spain and Switzerland tended to stay neutral, so they did not apply. But they also weren't really involved in World War II to the degree the other countries were, so they didn't need to be rebuilt. And purple did not apply because they were communist. So the purple were Soviet-backed countries. So some people argue today that Romania, Bulgaria, Yugoslavia, Hungary, Czechoslovakia, Poland, even East Germany wanted the Marshall Plan. It's just that the Soviet Union, with their grasp, wouldn't let them apply for it. This was such a smart thing to do because you can basically fight communism without war. It was actually genius. Cost America a lot of money, but had massive positives for the United States. One way that was positive is this really helped the United States become the superpower that we are today. Because in the United States, once these countries become reliant on our money and they become our friends because we help them rebuild, basically they're going to look to the United States as the leader of the free capitalist world, because we have the money, we're providing the money, and because we're the ones really in the position to help. And so this Marshall Plan really goes a long way with making the United States the superpower it is today. You could see some numbers here, like we gave United Kingdom $3.2 billion. We gave France $2.7 billion. We gave Italy $1.5 billion, which is impressive because we were at war with Italy. So we're even giving this money to some of our enemies. Turkey, 225 million. Greece, 700 million. Austria, 668 million. West Germany, 1.4 billion. Again, these are countries that we were at war with, but yet we're going to start to give them money and help them because we want to stop the spread of communism. So you could see here the purple. If you imagine the purple as a wave, it doesn't take a lot to realize why that wave stopped spreading. Like why communism stopped spreading was because we basically paid countries to be capitalists and to stay away from communism. So, all right, I'll tell you what I'm going to do, right? We'll solve this. I'm going to disable chat and then re-enable it later. Here we go. There you go. So, if someone asked me, if they were like, Mr. Volger, what's the reason why the United States became the world superpower today? Like, why are we the greatest country on planet Earth today in the year 2020? I would honestly put the answer into two terms, right? There are two reasons why the United States is the world superpower today. One, we developed the atomic bomb first. And that gave us a weapon that made us so much more powerful than almost every other country on planet Earth that instantly the United States became militarily the strongest nation on the earth. And that's just the truth. That's just facts, right? We developed the atomic bomb first. Russia quickly developed it after us, but we continued an arms race with Russia. So the Soviet Union and the United States were really the two most powerful countries because of the atomic bomb. The second reason why the United States becomes a superpower, and I would say over the Soviet Union, is the Marshall Plan, right? We paid people to stay capitalists, and in doing so, earned their trust and friendship that lasted, 70 years. God, don't you love looking at maps? Like, look at that. I love looking at maps. I don't know what it is. Like, it's one of the nerdiest things about me, but there's just something about looking at maps that makes me kind of cool and excited. All right, here we go. All right, so we have a little cartoon here, Aid to Greece and Turkey. So you have blindfolded Uncle Sam, new American foreign policy. This is interesting, right? We're blindfolded because we're in uncharted territory. We've never done this before. George Washington, he gave us the farewell address, and in his farewell address, hold on, let's go back. I'm gonna make me big so I can have a heart-to-heart with you for a second. Oh, let's go back again. Let's see if I can do this for the 15th time. Hold on. Right. In George Washington's farewell address, he says America does not get involved in European business. We don't get involved in world conflicts. We don't pay countries money. We don't get in debt with our foreign countries. That we should stay isolated, because the more the United States gets involved in other people's business, the more the United States is going to get in trouble. And now, after World War II, with the Marshall Plan, we have pretty much thrown out George Washington's farewell address and staying isolated, right? We're going to do the opposite. We're going to get involved in everyone's business. We're going to lend money to everyone who wants it, right? As long as they say capitalist. And this is uncharted territory, which is why Uncle Sam in this cartoon here, right? That's why Uncle Sam is blindfolded, because Uncle Sam is in uncharted territory. He doesn't know where he's going or where it's going to lead. And like I just said before, it's going to lead to the United States becoming the strongest country on the earth, which is pretty awesome. All right, here we have a cartoon. It says the Marshall Plan, right? This is the classic. The grass is greener on the other side, because you have Soviet Russia in the front. It says the Marshall-Stalin Plan, which basically is making people work like slaves. And they're looking over the fence at the American Marshall Plan, where they have equipment, they have machines, the grass is greener, everything's better. And so these European countries that were not allowed to apply for the Marshall Plan because the Soviets wouldn't let them, really kind of felt left out and hated it. Question of the day. So this is going to be your question of the day. It's a two-part question. Was the Korean War an international war or a civil war? Explain, because it is between North Korea and South Korea as to whether or not they should be capitalist or communist. But The United Nations gets involved. The United States gets involved. China gets involved. So many foreign countries get involved to fight against each other in Korea. So is it an international war or is it a civil war? And that's an opinion question, by the way. And then last but not least, do you think the United States should have stayed out of Korea? Why or why not? So it's a little typo. Let's fix it. There we go. So do you think the United States should have stayed out of Korea? Why or why not? So should we have gotten involved? If you think it's a civil war, should we have gotten involved in it? And if you don't think it's a civil war, if you think it's an international war, why was it important for the United States to do that? I will say this. I believe, see, I'm going to give you a little answer here. I believe that the United States got involved in the Korean War to stop the spread of communism. And if you look at history, you know, the Korean War was from 1950 to 1953, and communism, for the most part, stopped spreading in Asia up until the Vietnam War, right? But the Korean War really did stop the spread of communism in that area. It is debatable if we let South Korea become communist, what would have happened to places like, you know, Indonesia, Malaysia, Burma, you know, even going down to Australia and Japan. You know, there's all these islands in Asia that would have been affected, but because we fought Korea and we had the Marshall Plan, you know, a lot of countries realized that communism, it wasn't the way to go. A, because the United States was going to give you a hard time, we went to war, and B, because we were paying people to stay capitalist. The Korean War really did stop the spread of communism. Unlike, I think, the Vietnam War, which we'll get to at a later date, which I don't think did stop the spread of communism. I think the Korean War was a success, where I think the Vietnam War was a failure. And we're going to talk about that coming up. All right, so now what I'm going to do is we're going to make your question of the day question, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the chat up. I want you guys to behave and be on topic. If you're not, I'm going to start banning individuals so that we not everyone has to suffer. And if I ban individuals, that means I'm calling home, and I don't want to do that. I really don't. So don't make me do that. Here we go. Enabling chat. Chat is now enabled. And then we're also going to check out our responses on the Google Classroom. So this is the last chance you have to do the Google form. The Google form, right? We're going to look at the answers. If you haven't done the Google form yet, I want you to do the Google form right now while I make your question of the day. Here we go. Here's your question of the day. Let's go over to Google. So this is your last chance to work on your Google form if you haven't done it yet. Friday, well, too late for that, Rainer. All right, here we go. We're going to do assignment. We're going to do question of the day. April, I'll put the date so you guys know. April 13th through... What's Friday? We got April 13th through the 17th. Boom. All right. And we're going to go Monday. Question is. There we go. And I'll add Tuesday, Wednesday. I'll add these. I'll update it as we do it. This way everyone, because I know there's been some confusion as to where you guys are finding the questions. So I'm just going to start updating them actually in the assignment. And then again, we're going to create a Google Doc, and we're going to, there we go. As we wait for it to load, and we're going to call it the Q of D, question of the day, and we're going to call this April 13th through 17. There we go. Right, we're going to put Monday, and I will hello, Monday, and I will, there we go. Whoa, that's intense. Is the chat back up? Are we behaving? Good. All right, so there it is. Let's go back to Google Classroom. I want make a copy for every student.
Did you see my comment?
No.
You said Australia is an island in Asia.
Well, Australia is. My wife is making fun of me because she
They
said.
probably saw my comment.
Yeah, no. Australia is in the Asian hemisphere. It's south of Asia. It's obviously not an island. It's a continent, but it's there. Okay,
Like
it's
other
in the
islands.
sphere of
You're
influence.
like Australia, other islands in Asia.
Sorry.
I don't know anything about geography, Mr. Holden.
I know. This is. All right. So there we go. We got it. All right. So you guys on the Google form, we're gonna go check it out right now. Signing that. Australia's not fake, Mr. Standard. That's ridiculous. Preposterous. Yeah, Chris, guys, I need as many people to subscribe as possible. If I get over 1,000 subscribers, we can start doing live streams like outside in the rain. It'll be super epic. All right, here we go. We're gonna do our Google form now. Boom. 26 responses. There's 50 people watching. Let's go. Come on. Giving you 10 more seconds. Do Streamlabs? I gotta look into that. What Streamlabs, Spencer? We gotta have a conversation about this, sir. Tyler, it says you can't get on. You need permission. What? What? I don't know. It should be, you should be able to get on. Some kids are getting on. Collect addresses, restrict the users is trusted. No, we're not gonna do. There you go. Now you're good. Now you can get on. Everyone go. I fixed it. Streamlabs OBS. So what do I download the app for Streamlabs OBS on my phone, and then I simply run OBS on my phone, and it connects to my desktop YouTube. Is that what you're trying to say to me, Spence? Is that the lingo you're talking? When you talk about Vietnam, will you talk about how music shaped the war? James, I will. I'll talk about it. We would have listened to a whole bunch of Vietnam music in class. One of the problems, James, is I can't do that now. They're going to copyright me, and if I get too many copyright claims, then they don't let me live stream, which is obviously how I'm choosing to teach you guys. So I'll try to do something, but I can't play music over the stream simply because they will copyright me. Yeah, so be aware of that one. I'm going to look into the OBS thing, Spencer. I appreciate it. All right, we got 29 responses. You guys aren't doing anything. So we're just going to go into it now and take a look, and then we'll see how the responses are. All right, so the first question. Let me zoom in here. There we go. All right, Victory Gardens. Rationing, scrap drives, the bond drives are most closely associated with. I feel like everyone should have gotten this, right? Victory Gardens is in World War II when they asked people to grow their own vegetables instead of using food from the supermarket because the food from the supermarket was being sent to soldiers. Rationing was basically telling people not to use rubber or different things that were needed in the war, materials. So they were basically telling people that they had to use less. They also rationed things like meat because they were sending meat to the soldiers at war. Scrap drives, that's collecting metal and different materials that they needed to build tanks and planes. And bond drives was raising money, right? War bonds. So this all, of course, has to do with blue home front efforts during World War II. Okay? Next question. Nuremberg laws take away Jewish citizenship in Germany. Synagogues and Jewish-owned businesses destroyed across Germany. Mass extermination of Jewish people. Other victims at Auschwitz. Everyone should have gotten this. This obviously has to do with the Holocaust. I know we talked about the Nuremberg laws and the Nuremberg trial last week. So if you want to go back, if you forget that, watch one of those videos, you can. But basically, this is all about the Holocaust. The United States responded to the December 7th, 1941 attack on Pearl Harbor by declaring war on Japan. The United Nations didn't exist in World War II. It existed after World War II. So this red answer is a trick one. Lend-lease is a World War II thing. It's where we basically lend our tanks and bombs to England during the war. But that doesn't have to do with Pearl Harbor, right? Pearl Harbor is what makes us join the war by declaring war on Japan. Everyone got that right, though. So good job, guys. All right, let's see. What topic does this cartoon have to deal with? Well, what's the cartoon? I gotta look at the cartoon. Hold on. Ah, so this cartoon right here. This is a bunch of birds, and they're flying, and they got coal and food, and you have Berlin, and you have Joseph Stalin, the Russian leader, with a gun trying to shoot these birds out of the sky, which is, Russia didn't technically shoot our planes, but nevertheless. If you come down here now and we look, what does this cartoon have to do with? It's the Berlin airlift, guys. Not World War II. The Berlin airlift is after World War II. It's when the United States and the Soviet Union divide Germany up after World War II, and we have a conflict between communism and capitalism there. So it's totally the Berlin airlift, which is its own thing. Which sequence? Oh, this is the hard one. I realize that we haven't talked. Some of this is 7th grade content. Some of this is 8th grade content. But nevertheless, this stuff's important. So here we have, you have to put these in order, okay? So we have Revolutionary War. The correct answer is orange, okay? The bright orange, right? Revolutionary Wars in 1776 to 1783. I think it might be 1775, 1783. That's obviously first. The Mexican-American War is in 1848. So 1848 is second. The Civil War is 1860. So you have 1776, 1848, 1860, and then the Korean War is 1950. So this is the right answer. I don't care about the dates. Dates are not important. What's important is that you know the order of events. Right? I don't care if you know that the American Revolution was in 1776, but you should know the American Revolution was the first war the United States ever fought in. That's important, right? I don't care if you know when the Mexican-American War was, but it is important that you know that it was before the Civil War, because if you start mixing wars up based on their timeline, it really messes with your understanding of American history. All right. What topic does this cartoon have to do with? Ooh, okay. This is a good one. I'm going to go up here. This one is straight off of New York State Regents exam. This says, stop area limits for persons of Japanese ancestry residing in this relocation center. So if you just looked at this photograph closely, you would see right there, Japanese, that this has to do with Japanese internment camps. Also, hear that they're pledging allegiance to the U.S. So my understanding is it would be you guys would either choose the Holocaust or Japanese internment camps. And the truth is, this is talking about the United States, okay? A, it's written in English. It says the word Japanese right here. B, it says pledging allegiance to the United States, right? So right here kind of tells us that the answer to this is Japanese internment camps, because the Holocaust did not happen in the United States. So we have Soviet spies. Japanese are not Soviet spies. Holocaust, which is what I thought it would be, the second largest. And POWs of war. Again, there were no POWs in America because America was separated from the oceans during the war. So orange is your correct answer. So, yeah, that's just kind of checking your responses here. I'm impressed. I mean, that's pretty good, guys. We're talking like if you look at all these answers, we have some in the 90s, and then up here we have the hard ones still, it's still passing. 66 technically is passing. So there you go. All right. So that's it for today. Is there anyone that has any questions for me, or which one you get wrong, Steven? I bet you it was the sequence of wars. And it probably, let me guess, don't tell me. You probably put Revolutionary War, Civil War, Mexican War, and a Korean War. So you probably picked purple. Am I right? That would be my guess. Connolly, what do you mean that isn't how passing works? Thank you, Ryan, for making fun of me. I appreciate that. You got the Japanese one wrong? Because I couldn't read it. Okay. Alex, I'm doing well, sir. Though I'm going to start working out today. I got a little weight set in my basement. I'm kind of nervous about it. I'm going to be quite sore. How do I get on the Google Hangout? You mean the Google Meets? There's an app. If you go up here, I'll show you, Delaney, right? If you go to your Google, like, right here. If you go to the waffle iron up in the top right, you see it up here? Right? I'll zoom it in. Ready? Here, we're going to zoom it in, Delaney. So you go to the waffle iron right here, and you click on it. And then here, we have all of our different apps, right? Well, if you scroll down, you'll actually find one that says Meet. You see it right there? If it's not there, just keep scrolling, and it'll eventually you'll see it. It says Meets. You click on it. And, yeah, we're going to, hold on, let me get this back. This will bring you to this. It'll bring you to a page that looks like this. And what you're going to do is, Mr. Volger, that's me, I'm going to be giving you a, it's going to say join meeting, so you're going to hit join meeting, and it says enter the meeting code. So on your Google Classroom at around 2:45, 2:50 today, I'm going to post the meeting code. And you go on there, you copy the meeting code, you paste it in here, you hit continue, and then you'll be able to join us. I'm only going to be on for like 15 minutes just to say hi and give you guys some time if you have any questions. It won't be long. I know you guys are busy. Yeah, Christian, I could eat some waffles right now. I'm not lying here. Can I make a presentation on the musical impact of the Vietnam War? Sure, if you want to. And then share it with me, and I'll share it on live. But make sure, you got to be careful with audio because I can't, play it. I probably could play it, but then I wouldn't be able to, like, re-upload the video, so it would have to be live. Period 5 is today, 3 p.m., Grace. So today, 3 p.m., period 5, period 3, and period 6, we're going to meet up in Google Meets. Only if you're interested, not mandatory. Come. I'll be on for like 20 minutes. Say hi. You have any questions, you can talk to me face to face. Would the powers currently in the world different if the Soviet Union developed the atomic bomb first? Absolutely, Connolly. That is a great question, and there's no doubt about it. If the Soviet Union developed the atomic bomb first, I would even argue that most of Europe would be communist. And it would even be debatable whether or not communism would still be around today. It's possible it would be. Are you ever going to do it for ninth period? Of course I am, Barry. Ninth period is going to be on Wednesday. So keep that posted. Any other questions before we wrap up? By the way, I apologize about the stream delay today. It was a little technical difficulties. I'm definitely going to figure that out so it doesn't happen again. And also, Spencer, I'm going to look into that Streamlabs so we can possibly stream from a different location and have fun about it. So there you go. Any other questions? Any other questions at all? Zoom in on your face? Why? That's weird. That's I don't want to zoom in on my face, but if you're gonna make me, I could totally zoom in on my face. Is this what you want? Yeah. Well, Mark, that's how you get away from copyright, sir. That's how. All right, guys, I will talk to you later. Let me now I'm too big. Thank you. I'm a giant. I'm still too big. Let me make me tiny. I'm going to make me tiny. Still too big. Still too big. So that's it. That's all I have for today, guys. If you have any questions, please, you could always message me on Google Classroom. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Woo!